All right, so are you ready to dive in? Today, we're tackling Humphrey Yang's advice on becoming a millionaire.
You know, everyone wants to be a millionaire.
Right, but Humphrey actually gives specific steps to get there.
That's the key, isn't it?
Exactly. So we've gone through his video and pulled out the most surprising, actionable takeaways, the stuff you can actually use.
Yeah, and what's really cool is Humphrey doesn't just talk about the dream, he actually shows you the numbers,
Right.
like how important those early years of investing are, even if you aren't starting with a huge amount.
That part blew me away. He compares starting at 25 versus waiting till 35, investing just $3,000 each year. By 65, that 10-year head start, it could mean an extra $437,000.
It's crazy, right?
It makes you wonder why we all wait so long to start.
It's human nature, honestly. We're wired for instant gratification, not long-term rewards.
Makes sense.
But his graphs, they really show you how those small contributions can snowball over time. It's the magic of compound interest.
It's not about having a ton of money to invest right now, then.
Exactly.
It's about starting early and letting time do its thing.
Exactly.
But he goes beyond that, too.
Oh, yeah.
He gets into how to actually maximize those gains.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the most powerful tools he talks about is the 401k, especially employer matching.
Oh, man, that's a game changer.
Huge.
He gave the example of someone making $100,000 a year with an employer who matches 3% of their salary.
Right.
That's $3,000. If you put in enough to get that full match, you're basically doubling your money from the start.
It's a guaranteed 100% return. You won't find that anywhere else.
It's free money, basically.
It really is. And most people don't even think about their employer match that way.
It's a huge missed opportunity.
It is.
Plus, there's that psychological benefit of automatic deductions, too.
Yeah.
It comes straight out of your paycheck, so you barely notice it. And you just build that saving habit without thinking about it.
Exactly.
I wish I'd understood that earlier in my career.
But you know, Humphrey doesn't just focus on traditional 401ks either. He mentions Roth IRAs too, as another great tool for building long-term wealth.
Yeah, and what's special about Roth IRAs is that your earnings grow tax-free.
Yeah.
So when you retire and start using that money, you don't have to pay taxes on those gains.
Exactly.
It's a huge advantage,
Yeah.
especially if you're going to be in a higher tax bracket later on.
It really comes down to your individual situation and tax planning. The key difference between a traditional 401k and a Roth IRA is when you pay the taxes. Traditional 401k. You get the deduction up front, but you pay taxes when you withdraw the money in retirement.
I see.
But with a Roth, you pay the taxes on what you contribute now. But the withdrawals in retirement are tax-free.
So we've got starting early, maximizing those tax-advantaged accounts.
Yeah.
But sometimes it feels like there's this thing holding you back.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that dreaded D word, debt. Humphrey doesn't sugarcoat that at all.
Not at all. He's very clear. High-interest debt, especially credit cards, it's a wealth killer. And he's got some stats to back it up.
Oh, yeah. It's one thing to say debt is bad, but he puts actual numbers to it.
Oh, absolutely.
And then it hits home. Do you remember what that average credit card balance was?
He said around $6,518.
Yeah.
An average APR of 18%. If you're paying, let's say, $250 a month on that, it'll take you over 2 years to pay it off.
And here's the kicker. That same $250, if you invested it every month, assuming an 8% return, could grow to over $8,300 in those 2 years.
Wow.
That's opportunity cost right there.
It really shows you the difference between working to pay off debt and having your money work for you.
And, it's not just about the financial cost of debt. It's the mental and emotional toll, too.
Oh, yeah.
The stress, it can make you make bad financial decisions. It stops you from making those smart long-term investments.
Absolutely. Debt can make you feel like you're always playing catch-up.
You're just trying to stay afloat.
It's the opposite of Humphrey's approach, which is all about being proactive.
Okay, so ditch the high-interest debt. Let's shift gears and talk about what really drives wealth.
Right.
What does Humphrey say about that?
Well, he's very clear. The biggest factor is your income.
Okay.
Simply put, the more you earn, the more you can save and invest.
It seems pretty obvious.
It is, but he breaks it down. And you realize how powerful earning more can be.
But it's not just about earning more.
Yeah.
It's about what you do with that extra money.
Right.
Avoiding lifestyle inflation is key.
Absolutely. As your income grows, it's tempting to upgrade your lifestyle. But if you really want to reach that $1 million mark, you need to invest the difference. Don't just let it disappear into a higher cost of living.
Right. Discipline and a clear vision of your financial goals are crucial here.
For sure.
Like if your income is the engine, you have to steer it in the right direction.
That's a great way to put it. And speaking of steering your career, Humphrey also talks about job hopping as a way to boost income faster, especially early on.
Yeah, he mentioned a study, right, from LendingTree,
Yes.
showing that people who go to bigger companies can get pay raises of up to 15%. And he wasn't just talking about moving up in one company. He was suggesting switching companies strategically.
Yeah. Early in your career, especially, job hopping can get you a bigger salary increase than waiting for promotions in the same place.
He even had that scenario. Graham versus Humphrey. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
They both start with the same salary, but Humphrey changes jobs every 2 years, and he ends up way wealthier than Graham, who stayed at the same company.
Yeah, it was really smart.
It's a reminder. Your income isn't set in stone. You can control your earning potential.
And being strategic about your career can really impact your overall financial picture.
So we've got starting early, using tax-advantaged accounts, dumping debt, and focusing on growing our income. What else is important on the road to $1 million?
Well, once you're on that path of earning more and investing, Humphrey really stresses the importance of tracking your progress. He's big on using a net worth tracker.
You know, I gotta admit, when I first heard net worth tracker, I was intimidated. It sounded like something for, finance experts.
It does sound kind of complicated.
Yeah. But Humphrey really breaks it down, makes it easy to understand.
It's really not that complex. Your net worth is just the difference between what you own and what you owe.
Okay.
Think of it this way. Your assets are everything you own that has value, like your house, your car, your investments, and your liabilities. Those are your debts, your mortgage, student loans, credit cards, all that.
So to figure out your net worth, you add up all your assets
Right, yeah.
and then subtract all your debts.
Exactly. And the great thing is, you don't need some fancy software to track all this. Humphrey actually uses a simple Google Sheet. He even shares a template.
That's awesome.
It is. It makes the whole process so much less scary. Seeing those numbers laid out clearly, it can really open your eyes.
Right.
It helps you understand where you are financially and how your decisions are affecting your overall net worth.
And there's something so motivating about seeing that net worth number go up over time, even if it's just a little bit.
It is. It's a tangible sign of your progress, like you're actually making headway.
Yeah, it's like a feedback loop that keeps you going.
Right.
We've all had those unexpected windfalls, a tax refund, a bonus, maybe even an inheritance.
Yeah.
It's tempting to just spend it, right? But Humphrey's got a pretty unique perspective on these.
Oh, he does. He's got some bold advice.
What's that?
Invest it all. Act like you never even got it. Just put that money straight into your investments.
Wow, that's intense.
It is. I know it sounds extreme, but his reasoning makes sense.
How so?
It goes back to that idea of delaying gratification, resisting that urge to spend, and instead you're using those windfalls to get to your long-term goals faster.
It's like supercharging your progress.
Exactly. But he also knows it's hard for most people to invest every single penny of a windfall.
Yeah, that's a lot to ask.
It is. So he offers a compromise, the 90-10 split.
Ooh, so you can still enjoy a little bit.
Yeah, invest 90% of that windfall, and then you can enjoy the other 10% without feeling guilty.
Guilt-free spending, I like it.
That way you're still making big strides toward your financial goals.
Right.
But you can still treat yourself.
And he uses a really good example to show just how impactful this can be.
Yeah.
Imagine getting a $3,000 tax refund every year.
Okay.
If you consistently invest 90% of that for 20 years, it could grow to an extra $133,000.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
It's amazing what compound growth can do.
It really is. It shows that even those small windfalls, when you invest them wisely, can make a huge difference over time.
So we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
Starting early, using those tax-advantaged accounts, getting rid of debt, boosting your income, tracking your progress, and now making the most of those surprise chunks of money.